Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. Welcome everybody from the beginning all the way to the future. I appreciate each and every one of you stopping by and checking out my tutorials, the podcast, when we have our live spin and chat, things of that nature. Let's see. I do have quite a bit to go over this week as to what have I been up to for the past couple of weeks, because if you watch this past Sunday's video, it was just a short clip, and I think it was like barely even over 3 minutes long. Just went fishing, and it was the river and me sitting there knitting and my friend Rachel out on a rock fishing. So it was kind of one of them random things, and I didn't really have a whole lot of time to do a Sunday podcast. With that being said, I also did not go live on my normal live time. I have not gone live this past week. You did not miss me. Well, maybe you did. I don't know. Did you all miss me? I did not go live Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Had a lot of cleanup and things that I had to get done. It didn't happen. And so, yeah, I'm sorry. I missed you all. Does that count? I did get a lot done for spinning. Okay, so what happens on this channel? It is a channel that is fiber arts related. Not the kind of fiber you eat. Of course, if you do eat it, it wouldn't taste good, but I don't know if it'd be good for you or not. I'm sure I consume plenty when I'm in here blending fiber together to spin into yarn. But anyway, so we do all kinds of stuff here. All kinds. If you don't crochet and you knit, I have knitting. If you don't knit and you crochet, I have crocheting. If you Tunisian crochet, I got that. If you use an addy or something similar to an addy, I have got things on that. If you are a person who likes to weave, I have a huge 32-inch weaving loom, and I do weaving. If you like to process fiber, dye fiber, I do that too. Also spinning yarn, that's kind of like a big thing that I do, is spinning yarn. But yeah, there is so many different things that happens here. Just take a little nosy around and look through the playlist. You might find something. If you don't, holler at me. I love challenges. I literally just received a challenge on one of, I think it was last week's knitting tutorials, and somebody asking a question, and I said challenge accepted. I'm still working on that. I've worked several different thoughts through and haven't been able to come up with the same design working that pattern, but I'm not giving up yet. I might get it. Just give me time. I might get it. Anyway, so with that being said, I am a designer. I design for knitting and crochet and different things. Tatting as well, needle tatting. So with that being said, you will have my patterns in tutorials, crochet alongs, knit alongs, tat alongs, things of that nature, as well as standard stitch tutorials. Now with those stitch tutorials, I like to use them. I will do a stitch tutorial, and then a lot of times, not too long after I do that stitch tutorial, you may see one of my patterns come through that is using that stitch. That's why you got that stitch as a tutorial, because I was like, you know what? I really like this stitch. Maybe somebody else out there will like it as much as I do. And I'm going to use this into this pattern. So I'll do a tutorial on it, and then I'll do a tutorial on the overall and use it that way. Not all of them, but a lot of them you will find that somewhere in one of my patterns, there's that stitch she did a tutorial on. Found it. So if you see a stitch tutorial that you like, comment on it and say, do you have a pattern in mind that you might be following up with? Because chances are I probably do, and it'll push me to go ahead and hurry up and get it done. Yeah, sometimes squirrel. I need I need that extra push. So what have I been working on this week? Let's get into that, because I'm already over 5 minutes and I've got way too much going on. All right, so while we were fishing, while Rachel was fishing, I needed to have something to do. Well, I made this sock a while back with some of my hand-dyed yarn, okay? And I needed to make another one to match it. I went from this straight into something else and said, well, while I go sit on the side, I will start on a sock. So that's what I did, and this is how far I got. Cuff down, I made it to right there. So here we are. We got a long way to go, but that's not a big deal. So that's what I worked on while she was fishing. I knitted. I worked on that sock. And a while back, I had done a knitted stitch tutorial on the bed jacket stitch, and was asked in the comment section about doing that stitch in the round. And I said, sure, I can do a tutorial on that. Well, I did do that tutorial, and it's coming out next week, I think. So here's what I'm working on here. Let me get it to a viewable state, because right now it's not. So here's what I've got. I worked it up in 2 colors. It's not a completed project yet. This is a whip. I worked it into 2 colors so that way you could easily see the actual stitch itself that we were discussing. So the bed jacket stitch worked in the round, which is what it was asked. There is a tutorial coming out, so the viewer that asked about that, there is a tutorial coming, and it is coming up this coming week, I believe. So that is one thing that I have worked on. Let me move this out of the way. And the next thing that I worked on, and as some of you have seen, I have been here recently doing test patterns for Fiber Spider Craig, and one of them I am doing very largely. I was gifted by one of my viewers this beautiful like powder blue yarn. That is the name of it, and here it is. Pretty true to color there. And so that's what I decided to work up this shawl when I tested the pattern for him, for Mr. Craig Fiber Spider. So let me go ahead and show you this. So it is a beautiful, very easy filet crochet. The links to his tutorials for this pattern will be down in the description box. If you, for whatever reason, don't know who Fiber Spider is, which would be odd, but anyway, he is an awesome, awesome human. Love him to death. He has a brilliant mind and works up some beautiful designs, is an excellent teacher, and I would definitely follow his tutorials, which I have in the past as well as now. But yes, his pattern is absolutely stunning. I think it's like the Arches Shawl. I'll put it here. He asked me to test it. I tested it, love it, and I'm gonna keep going until I run out of that cake. I have one more. I will probably go ahead and make two and then seam them together and make it like a poncho. Maybe. We'll see. So that is what I've been up to as far as already made yarn. Now, I will be talking a lot through the month of July of Tour de Fleece. Tour de Fleece runs side by side with Tour de France. If you do not know what Tour de France is, it is a very big, major bicycle race. Very, very big ordeal. They have challenges within it. It is super, super, super big ordeal. And that's in France. And we're doing Tour de Fleece. And this is my third year with the same group of people that we spin yarn. We have challenges along the way, just like the bicyclists. So when they're pedaling their bikes, we're pedaling, or drop spindle or electric spinning wheel. There's all kinds of different things. Now, over this past week, I have used four different spinning wheels or technique. Four for spinning. So what did I do? I did, however, finish 2 full bobbins of some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful braid roving. Oh my word. I will insert a picture here. So that's Living Dreams, and that colorway is Globetrotter. So these will be plied together to make a 2-ply yarn. That's next week. Plying is going to be a big thing next week for me, so you'll see a lot of plied yarn. My personal goal throughout the 3 weeks that it's running, so the month of July basically, by the time you see the full entirety of what I've done for Tour de Fleece, it will be the end of July. My particular self goal is to work with fibers that I've never worked with before. Now, I've been squirreled. I did start working with one, and then I kind of squirreled over and got busy and did a bunch of other stuff, like spinning those 2 bobbins, spinning quite a bit on my bumblebee, which I'll insert a picture of here. And since that picture, I probably have filled the bobbin, but we'll see. I don't know. So the fiber that I have in this basket is stuff that I have not worked with, and it is something that I want to work with. So this here, I just pulled my flyer bobbin, and this is a double drive. So there's a strand that goes through here and a strand that goes through here, and it goes around the main wheel, which you see right there behind me. This is just pulled right off and brought over here so I can show you. This is flax. That is a flax spinning wheel, and I wanted to spin flax on it. It's like, hello, it's a family heirloom. It's over 200 years old. I'm the first person in 100 years to spin on it. I desperately want to spin flax on it. That's what it was meant to do. So yes, Flax was the biggest thing. So I'm going to continue to work on the flax. Absolutely. It is difficult, but nevertheless, I'm doing it. Even if I did walk away from it. Let's see. This is also some flax. This is a white and the other is like a beige color. Let's see. This is comb top roving white, and that one I want to say is neutral or natural. Let's see. Another one that I have never spun before is sea cell. So that is pretty cool. Going to be working on that soon, hopefully. Here is some more flax. This is more flax white. Then I have some rose pearl top, which is really interesting feeling. I got it out and felt it. Now, this is silk here, and I was thinking about only spinning just a small amount of it, and I may do it on a drop spindle, just a small amount of it separately. I don't want to use all of the silk and make 100% silk. I want to use just enough of it to get the feel of how to spin silk by itself, and then I can add it into other items, you know, other fibers. When I'm working on the blending board, I can add it to other fibers, so it would have, you know, a 10% or 3% silk added to it. And the last thing that I've never worked with, which is pretty interesting, is this hemp. Now that's some purple, isn't it? It's beautiful. So that is hemp. So I have those that I would like to, that's my goal, work with each of these so that way I can say that I have worked with them. I know what they feel like. I know whether I like them, whether I would use them or blend them with something. Basically, that's the goal for myself, to use the flax wheel and spin flax, and to spin these other items that I've, you know, other fibers that I've never spun before. So also, with that being said, during the Tour de Fleece, there are specific challenges that are given by the group. We have our own challenge and goals set in mind, and then the group has certain days have challenges. And one of the challenges I shared in the community tab here on YouTube was the challenge of using a tool that you've never used, or basically revisiting one that you just didn't really catch on and try to do it again. So what I did was, and I'm going to insert a picture. Okay, so in that picture, I go through and show 6 different pictures in that one picture. And what we're going to talk about is a table clamp or a wood clamp for clamping, you know, wood or whatever. A dog rake comb. A metal washer, and a quilting pen. What do all of these things, and alpaca, raw alpaca, what do all these things have in common here? Well, using a tool that I've never used, I said, well, let me go and see what I can find. And I saw the dog comb, and I thought, let's see. I can clamp that onto the table with the clamp. which I have these everywhere in here. I use them all the time. I have different sizes depending on what I'm utilizing it for. So it's clamped onto the table. You just squeeze it like this. There we are. So it's clamped onto the table like this, right? And then I take the handful of raw fiber and basically I'm adding it to the comb. I'm just combing it on, and you pull it off and comb it on again. And you continue to do that until all the fibers are combed in line with each other and they're nice and neat. Now, what the heck was the washer for? The washer is resembling a diz. Diz. The diz, you take the fiber and you put it into the hole of washer, said diz, and you pull through that washer that fiber off of the comb. And what you end up with is a long tube of fiber, which is known as a roving. And with that roving, I then took it and said, well, I'm not just going to use a drop spindle. I'll use the quilting pen that I had been wanting to use as a drop spindle. Never mind all of this mess here. This is the fiber that I pulled off through the diz and spun into a single strand onto the quilting pen. So that was one of the challenge days, and you just take and give it a twirl and let it spin up the fiber. And then once the fiber is at the top, you release your little half hitches off and wind it down onto the cob, or in this case, the shaft of it. And then you run a couple more half hitches and begin again. So that is what I used for my challenge of using tools that I've never used to create some kind of yarn or something. So that I did. And I think that's about it. Good golly, that should be enough. I have got the fiber all ready and set up to be dyed. I have discussed with our winner of that secret yarn giveaway, hand spun, hand dyed yarn. And I have spoke with her about how she wanted it, you know, plied together and dyed and all of that. But I'm waiting for her to respond to particular color, season of colors, and give me an idea as to what colors she would like. I knew she wanted sparkly, and I knew she wanted a 2-ply, but now Brenda, you need to respond to me and let me know what colors you would like to see. All right, everybody, that is it for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me gab on about all kinds of different things. And thank you for coming back each and every week. If I have taught you something in the last 2 years, let me know down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you whether or not you have learned anything from this channel. If there is something that you would like to lean towards and learn about in the fiber arts world, and you would like for me to go and see what I can do to help assist you, again, please let me know down in the comments. Other than that, I hope that you guys had an amazing 4th of July and Canada Day and everywhere else. Happy past week. And yeah, I'm going to add that slideshow in after this. Thank you for watching. Be blessed. Be a blessing. And until next time, bye for now, everyone.